What happened in 2009? Wasn't the council tight-fisted in 2009? I know there was one incident that caused the city of Washougal a lot of money, and that was Mr. Bivens. And he was appointed from the city council to the job that he had, 6-0 vote. And I'm sure the previous mayor and Mr. Bivens assured all the city council people that the suspension that he was undergoing from the bar was nothing and it would be handled without a problem. And with that, he was appointed. It cost a lot of money. When you think back how much money, it was a lot. And fortunately for the new mayor and the city council's thoughtful voting on the subject, all the new hires are very much inspected and approved, I think, by everybody. And Mr. Scott and Ms. Forsberg, the two of them, I have my full support. I have the full support to the mayor and the city council here. But please do your job and stay under the proposed budget if possible, under the income. I know I've had to cut down, even though my income is assured, but I'm not getting any raises this year or probably next year or the year after on my income. Unfortunately, the stock market is I made a couple of bad investments. And my shares went from $13 down to 28 cents. So it was not a good investment, but thank golly it didn't have a lot of money invested. Anyway, I appreciate your time, and please, folks, do your job. If it requires cutting down people's hours or laying off part-time people or whatever, or not hiring somebody, I feel that you have to make these tough choices, just like the governor of New Jersey had to do. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Olson. Any other members of the public? Mr. Rothschild. Welcome back.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've been gone for a while. Yeah, good evening. My name's Michael Rothchild. I live at 736 Sunset Ridge Drive in Washougal. And yeah, thank you for allowing me to speak again. I'm calling in response to an article in the Columbian newspaper yesterday, the Clark County section. And it's titled "Cities to Ask Residents to Pay More." And it lists all 7 cities, I guess there are just a total of 7, in Clark County, all proposing pretty big rate increases, especially in utilities and property taxes. Now, of all the cities listed here, Battleground, Camas, La Center, Washougal, Vancouver, etc., by far, and anyone who would like to see this article, I'd be happy to give it to them. By far, the largest increases, at least in utility increases, are Washougal. Now, just to give you an example, I won't go over, obviously, all of these. Compare Washougal to Camas. We're all very familiar with Camas right next door. Just to list 3 on each. For Washougal, this is for 2011, I believe, coming up. The increase for water, 13.5% for Washougal. Camas, 3%. Washougal, for sewer rate, 28.5% increase is proposed. Camas, 11% for sewer. Storm water for Washougal, 14.5%. Stormwater for Camas, proposal, increase of 11%. Now, it seems to me, with Camas right next door, the average resident of Washougal would be better off if we just disbanded the city and become part of Camas. I certainly would rather have those kind of increases than ours. I'd rather have no increases. Also, on top of this, as I think we can all remember, and I remember speaking about this, wasn't that many months ago that we had a water increase of 14.5%. So this, unless my math is wrong here, it's pretty simple math, this 13.5% increase in water is on top of the 14.5% that we had not very many months ago. I think anyone who reads the papers knows inflation is not a big problem in this country right now. The Federal Reserve is much more concerned about deflation than inflation, as a matter of fact. So, I mean, to me, this is just totally outrageous. I know in the paper it was mentioned that the increase is for capital expenditures, which, yeah, it's in the paper, but, then again, for water and so forth. But Camas, it's the same thing. They were having these expenditures also. Somehow, they were able to do it with much lower increases than Washougal. Oh, and on property taxes, you could say, well, there's no increase in property taxes proposed. Well, right, quoting from the paper here, on property taxes, there's no increase because the city has reached the statutory limit for property taxes, according to our city administrator, David Scott. So, anyway, I think, and I mentioned this last time, we had that 14.5% increase. I know it's just especially onerous in a time in this city, Washougal, this county actually has one of the highest foreclosure and unemployment rate in the state of Washington. It's way above the national average. And, these kind of increases, it's just like, it all can just lead to pushing people over the edge. And then if someone can't pay their mortgage anymore and they foreclose, there's a lot of foreclosures right around where we live. I could show you, just right around our house, there's a whole bunch of them. People can't live in their house anymore. They move out. You get no money, no revenue from that household for water or sewer or anything else. So, there's a point of diminishing returns and these rate increases where, you can raise it to the point where it actually can hurt you. And it seems to me, looking at these kind of increases, we're certainly at that point. Anyway, I appreciate your time to allow me to speak again, and that's about all I have to say for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rothschild. Any other members of the public? Yes, Larry.
Larry Keister, 4402 Southeast Stitzelberger Road, Washougal. I'm asking you to reconsider again putting the public forum and public comments after the agenda items. I appreciate the opportunity to get to address council both at the council meeting and especially at the workshops where the work is actually being done. It gives me an opportunity to share my ideas. But if I'm part of the conversation as we have or we used to have at the workshops, it gives you an idea to understand what me or the citizens are bringing to you for you to consider when you are going to vote on something. You still have the ability to control what is said, the time, the relevancy and disruptive or repetitious comments. And I know that if you have it at the end of a meeting, you also, especially at the city council meeting, you don't want the meeting to run any longer than absolutely necessary. But you got to remember, we've sat through this meeting as long as you have, and a lot of us will think, is my comment really that relevant, or would I just like to get out of here also? So just give us an opportunity to be part of your decision-making process.
Thank you, Larry. Any other members of the public wishing to address the council? Moving into the regular agenda, I do want to take a moment, though, on